James from London writes in and says, "Hey, Greg, Colin, and everyone else over at Podcast Beyond." See you again.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm writing to ask. I've recently bought a PlayStation 4 and am a new convert to the PlayStation ecosystem.
Congratulations.
Nintendo are losing me with their Wii U efforts, but let's not go into that. I have subscribed to PlayStation Plus and am amazed by the free games out on the PlayStation 3 and Vita. My question is this. Should I buy a PlayStation 3 to take advantage of these games and play the back catalog of titles, or be patient and invest my money in upcoming AAA PlayStation 4 games?
I would say buy a PlayStation 3.
I would
That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean...
If you can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say go buy it, and like that is probably the right answer. But PlayStation Now comes out this summer. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Probably doesn't. And you'll be able to play the back catalog of games there as well.
Yeah, but the question is, how big is it going to be on day one? How well is it going to work? You should
play the games natively anyway.
Exactly. Well, you figure what he's driving at, right, is if he doesn't say, he says he's new. He doesn't know how many months he's been on PlayStation Plus. He is banking all these PS3 games that are just sitting there now. So hopefully he's been redeeming them, even though he doesn't have a PlayStation 3, attaching them to his account.
Banking. Remember the weakest link?
Bank. Yeah, that was it, right? You got to bank it.
Do you remember the show The Weakest Link? With the crazy,
you are the weakest link.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And they'd bank, and then that was a great show. We got to bring that show back.
We do not need to bring that back.
No,
that was an intensely stressful show.
Yeah, it was. It was because you had to rely on like your teammates to know the answers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there was no reason to bank.
Well, this is what we need to do is have PlayStation team with them and just be able to use it. That even if you don't have a PlayStation 3, you need to bank it, and that woman comes out.
Where's she? I'm gonna look this all up.
She's a millionaire, I'm sure. She doesn't have to worry about anything.
Is she a millionaire?
No, probably not.
She wasted
sitting in
all
a
her money.
Scrooge McDuck pile of riches.
Yeah. Well, I think, residuals, they're paying her out over time.
It probably is on Game Show
I was going
Network.
to say, it's got to be in syndication somewhere.
Yeah, Game Show Network probably.
I honestly reckon, though, if I, despite PlayStation Now, if I could afford a PlayStation 3 and I hadn't dipped my toes in, God, there's so much.
Right.
There's so much to discover.
It's still coming, too.
Because, think of it this way. All right, so this is it. PlayStation Now will have to pay something for, we imagine. We don't know anything about it.
For sure.
What the subscription model is, blah, 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 blah. With PlayStation 3, if he just buys the PlayStation 3, which is what, like $200 now?
Yeah.
If he buys that and just sits it on his shelf or whatever, and then just banks all these PlayStation 3, PlayStation Plus titles, he'll have a library, a sizable library.
He's got to buy that friggin' George Foreman grill one, though. That sucks.
The slider top?
Yeah.
I like it all right. I mean, I don't like it. I like the original Slim. The Slim is the good one.
2009 Slim's the best.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Just buy. I mean, there's so many games. There's so many games. Go to the top 25 PS3 games.
Yeah.
That we do on IGN.
Just start with the first 5. Start with the top 5 and go down.
Yeah. You'd be playing a lot of Uncharted.
Yeah. A lot of Naughty Dog on that list.
But yeah, and then I do concur that he can put these games away. I would also say let's not underestimate the games that are still coming. Mm-hmm. Tales of Exilia 2 is coming out this year. Persona 5 comes out next year. There's going to still be PS3 games to play.
Sure.
So I think it's if you want to play Persona 5, you're going to have a PS3.
It's interesting. When we always talk about this, I always talked about PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Plus selling PlayStation Vitas because it would be the same thing, right? Well, I've banked all these PlayStation Vita games. I might as well spend however much money.
Yeah, I've been told. I've interviewed people at Sony that have told me that there are definitely people that buy Vita that have never bought a game because of PlayStation Plus. That don't buy games, and the attach rate is still extraordinary on Vita, with those numbers taken into account, like over a dozen of Vita. So.